Hi there and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll show you how you can create a cutscene in GDevelop 5. Okay, so I shared this cutscene in one of my previous live streams, and some GDevelop users have asked me to create a tutorial on how to do that. So I'll show you the cutscene now. Okay, so here we have the cutscene. The players move in, the king comes down, and you can see the screen shake which took place. So here we have the switches at the kingdom. If I switch, it moves into the next event. And there we go. The cutscene's actually longer than this, but I would end it here for now. So if we go back to our events, you can see all those black boxes, which are the hitboxes. The characters make use of those hitboxes to know what to do. So that's basically the brain box of the characters. So let's head back into our project so we can add this up. So yeah, I have my own project. It's empty for now. So what we'll do is I'll teach you how you can make your player move, jump, climb a ladder, and walk again. So we'll have this kind of movement of move, jump here, walk here, then it falls down, walks, then climbs the ladder, and walks on this. So before we begin that, let's go through what we already have in the project. So first we have our player. Our player has the default controls, which are up, right, down, shift, or space to jump, and next up we have our platform. Our platform has the platform behavior, which lets the platformer character walk on it. Next up we have our hitbox. Now this is the object we make use of. Keep in mind our hitbox has no behavior, as it would stay in a fixed position. Okay. Next up we have our ladder. Now this is the ladder. A ladder, it has the platform behavior and its type is set as a ladder. Okay, apply this. Now into our events, you can open up the events and we have our basic group here. What our basic group does is basically the first event centers the camera on the player. The second event changes the animation to the player jump animation when the players jump in or the players fall in. The third event sets this to the idle animation when the player is not moving and the player is on the floor. It sets the animation of the player to idle, which is 0. Then the fourth event sets the animation to walk in when the player is moving. So that's what we have in our basic. Now let's head back into our cutscene and add in our hitboxes. Now the first thing you need to do when creating a cutscene is have this hitboxes which should tell your player what to do. Now I can drag in, I already have mine. This is a hitbox. It uses 1 pixel by 1 pixel, so it's very tiny. I made it 1 pixel by 1 pixel because I can resize it to whatever size I want in the event. So it's currently in the scene editor. I just need to select it and increase the size. Here we go. So this would be the size. So first of all, let's make our player walk. So resize this and drag it all the way to this point. So once our player is in collision with this, it should walk. Now to properly identify each hitbox, because we would be using the same sprite, we need to add in an instance variable. So each hitbox will have its own unique instance variable depending on its actions. For this, we need our player to move to the right. So we would add an instance variable and name it right. So to do that, select the hitbox. Sorry about my mouse. So select the hitbox and right here in the properties, sorry I have my windows ordered in this manner. This is not the default order in GDevelop. I just like this big screen at the top. So by default, the properties should be on this side. Can I set that? Yes. Okay, so by default, the properties should be on this side of your screen. So you should find this here. Okay, so position this again and we have that. Now in here, our instance variable you need to add. So for the name, would set this to ID. This is how we would identify it. And for the value, would set it as a string by writing right. So that's how I would identify this. Now into our events, let's add a group. So we're adding an events group. I'll call this, sorry about that. Oh, there's a problem there, so I'll just add it here. Events group, and I'll call this cutscene. Perfect. So let's add a new event. Let's drag this into our group and add a condition. So once the player is in collision with the object hitbox, okay, to identify the hitbox, we need to get in. We select our hitbox and search up object variable. So text of the object variable. The variable name is ID. The sign to test is equal to, and the text to compare would actually be right. Okay, so once this is true, add an action to simulate a right key press for the player. Select player, and okay, so we can preview this, and boom, we have our player moving to the right. Now there is a problem here. If I press jump, I can actually control my player during the cutscene. Now we need to restrict this. We don't want a controllable character during a cutscene. Now to solve that, we need to make use of variables. Now those variables will check if a cutscene is currently in session or if it's not in session. So to do that, let's close this and back into our events. So let's create the global variables. Now we're going to add a new event and add a condition and search up boolean. So boolean value of, and the variable name would name this cutscene state. So check if it's true, and that's if it's true, would make this a sub event of this. Now let's add a new event, and I'll just copy this and paste. Now once cutscene state is false, so we don't want it to ignore the default controls. So add an action, and we'll search up ignore default controls and select player. And ignore controls, no. Okay, so copy this and paste, and when the cutscene state is set to true, it would ignore the default controls. Okay, now this only works when you're using the default controls. If you have a custom control, you'd have to make use of these variables which we created here and check if the state is set to false before executing a movement action. So right now, let's add a new event, and at the top, we'd search up boolean value of a global variable, and we'd select this, and the variable is cutscene state. So this should toggle the value of the global variable cutscene state. Now a better option would be to set the value to true. So we can make use of the boolean value of a global variable, and we can set the value to true. So we can make use of this. Okay, so next up, we have our next obstacle for the player, which is this right here. We need our player to jump, so we need to create a new hitbox. Now to do that, I can select this, hold down Control and drag. And I now have an instance of this. So let's resize this and select this, change the ID to jump, backspace, and place this right here at this point. Now into a cutscene, I'm going to select this, copy, and where's the duplicates? Okay, so copy and paste. So players in collision we have hitbox, the ID variable is set to jump. So once that's set to jump, we need our player to jump. Cool. Next up, we need our player to walk on this. So we'd copy this, hold down Control, drag this. This is a right, so we place this here. Now you may need to extend this point so the player is in collision with this. Next up, we need our player to walk on this side, so hold down Control, drag, and place that here. And this should work. We can preview this, and we have this, jump, walk. Next up we have the ladder. Now we need our player to climb, so close this, and hold down the hitbox, drag with Control, and let's resize this to cover the ladder shape. So drag this all the way here, and all the way to the bottom. So I'm currently allowing this right to overlap with this, and that's because I want the player to walk to the middle of this before going upwards. So select this new instance, and we'll set this to ladder. Okay, so with that set as ladder, we can copy this and drag it all the way here. Paste that somewhere around here, and this should make the player move to the right once he climbs the ladder. Now let's type in some events for our new instance, which is ladder. So cutscene events, and I'll copy this and paste. So plays in collision with hitbox, and the ID of hitbox is set to ladder, which is the value set to ladder. Now when climbing a ladder, there are two things you need to do. You need to grab the ladder and then simulate up key press. So simulate ladder key press. This would grab the ladder and simulate up key press for player. Perfect. Now to polish this, let's hide our hitboxes. So right here, add an action and hide, select hitbox, and okay. Control save and preview. And we have this walk, jump, walk, and climb the ladder and walk. So there you go. So that's how easy it is to create a cutscene in GDevelop 5. I'll leave a link in the description to download the templates, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Thanks for watching.